In this lesson I will show you a drill that you have to be able to execute to raise your positional game. In this drill I set up the most popular shot in pool that you already know from one of my other lessons. This is a shot that comes up very often in every game of pool, so you have to be able to make this shot and get position for the next ball. The interesting thing about this drill is that there are some variations. You can change certain things to make the drill more difficult or easier. Yeah, you first start with the easy version and then you try to make it more difficult, but I will show you that in a minute. Well, we start with the easiest version. We have a nice cut on the 9 ball, and the goal in this case is to make the 9 ball, of course, and in the first case play the cue ball through each gap. If you manage to do that, we make it a little more difficult, and now you have to hit the object balls after making the 9 ball. Let's see how I did this drill. Well, if I want to go through that first gap, obviously I have to hit high on the cue ball or left on the cue ball. When I want to go a little more to the center of the table, I have to hit a little more low or give a little bit of right spin. Yeah, and I want to go further and further to the left side of the table, so I have to hit more low or give more right spin to bring me through that gap. But in my personal case, when I'm playing in a match or this drill, I don't think about where do I have to hit the cue ball. I just see, okay, I want to go this line, and then my body and my brain just execute the shot. And that's the goal of your positional game and your whole pool game. You don't want to think about how to do some things. You want to repeat the things over and over again until you don't have to think about how to do it. The only thing that you now have to think about, I want to hit the free ball, and your body does the rest. Or in the next shot, I want to hit the 2 ball, and your body should do the rest. Yeah, and that's the goal of your pool game. You want to play unconsciously. Yeah, you want to think about some things, of course. Where do I want to have the cue ball? Should I play a save or should I make the ball? But the goal is to don't have to think about how to do it. The goal is just to execute it and think what you want to do, and the rest should be done by your body. Now this is the second version, a little tougher. I placed the object balls a little further up table, and the further you place the object balls up table, of course, the harder the drill gets. If you're able to execute one of the variation of this drill 3 times in a row without making any mistakes, then you can raise the skill level and just make it more difficult, and at some point you will just become better and better at this positional shot, because as I said, this is a very huge positional shot, a shot that comes up very often, and you just have to be able to maneuver the cue through a certain line that you decided to. Well, these are the variations again. To have a little more variation in the shot, you can change the angle on the 9 ball. If you want to make it more difficult, move the object balls up table, or even try to change the target by just don't going through a gap, but going towards a ball. If you have a training partner, you can make a little game out of that. Each person have 5 tries, and at each try your partner says, now I wanna make you hit the 5 ball, or now I wanna make you hit the gap between the 1 and the 2 ball, and then you count the points, and then your opponent has 5 tries, and who has more points at the end wins the match. Well, that's it. I hope you liked the video, I hope you enjoyed the lesson, I hope you give this drill a try. Let me know how many times in a row you can execute this drill. And yeah, don't forget to like, don't forget to subscribe and comment, and we'll see you at the next lesson. Take care.